Welcome. We're about to cut through the hype and focus on a decision that every single strategic leader is facing right now. And that is, how do you build an AI that doesn't just know your business, but can actually act for your business? We're going to break down the two key ways to think about this so you can make the right call.
You know, this quote right here, it just perfectly nails where we are today in enterprise AI. The conversation has completely shifted. It's not about picking one tech over the other anymore. For leaders like you, the real question has become, how do we weave these different approaches together into one incredibly powerful system? So let's start with the fundamental problem we're all trying to solve. It really boils down to this. You have this incredibly powerful general-purpose AI, and then you have the very specific private knowledge that makes your business, well, your business. There's a gap. Think about it. The AI you get out of the box is brilliant. I mean, it's been trained on a huge chunk of the public internet, but it has absolutely no idea about your internal sales data, your HR policies, or your private customer conversations. This knowledge gap is what leads to what we call hallucinations. That's when an AI just makes stuff up, but says it with total confidence. For any serious business, that's a total deal breaker. It completely kills trust and makes the AI basically unusable. Okay. So how do we fix that? Well, the first major breakthrough was a technique designed specifically to close that knowledge gap, to give the AI a memory of your company. And that technique is called Retrieval-Augmented Generation, or just RAG. Now, the idea is actually pretty simple, but it's incredibly powerful. The best way to think about RAG is like you're giving your AI a brilliant librarian. Before the AI ever says a word, it first goes and consults your company's private library, all your documents, your databases, to find the exact right information. Only then does it generate an answer. It grounds the AI in reality, your reality. The classic RAG process is, a really simple and predictable pipeline. It's linear. A user asks something, the system zips over to the knowledge base to retrieve the right context, and it uses that context to spit out a fact-based answer. Retrieve, augment, generate. Simple, clean, and really, really effective. And the impact on the business? It is just staggering. We're talking a 70 to 90% drop in those pesky hallucinations when you get RAG set up correctly. This is way more than just a tech upgrade. This is how you build trust. It's what makes AI reliable enough to use for serious work. But what if you need more than just reliable answers? Right, so our AI is now the super trustworthy librarian. It can tell you things with incredible accuracy. But here's the big strategic pivot. What happens when you don't just want it to tell you something, but to actually do something for you? The librarian is great for finding the company travel policy, but it can't file your expense report or escalate a customer support ticket. For that, you need something else entirely. And this is what brings us to the next giant leap. We're moving beyond just giving AI a memory. Now, we're giving it a brain that can reason and hands that can take action. We're talking about AI agents. So what the heck is an AI agent? Well, think of it as an autonomous system that has a large language model as its core brain. It can take a really complex goal, break it down into a bunch of smaller steps, and then actually use tools, like calling an API, running code, or querying a database to get the job done. Now, at the enterprise level, you build these agents using frameworks called Agent Development Kits, or ADKs. They provide all the essential plumbing to build, manage, and scale these agents reliably. And this brings us right to the core strategic choice for you as a leader. You have to be crystal clear about what you're trying to achieve. Do you need an AI to simply recall information for you, or do you need it to go out and act on that information? This table really lays it all out. RAG, our librarian, its job is to tell me something. It's like the reference aisle of your company. The key value comes from its amazing, accurate memory. An agent, built within an ADK, is way more like a team lead. Its job is to do something for me. It's the tool aisle. Its value comes from its ability to reason and execute complex multi-step workflows. So, are you building a fancy search engine, or are you trying to automate your entire IT help desk? The answer to that question tells you which architecture you need. But here's where it gets really interesting, and where the most advanced companies are going. They've figured out that this isn't an either-or choice. The real power play, the move that unlocks tremendous value, is a hybrid model that combines the best of both worlds. So today's most powerful systems don't make you choose. They use an agent built with a solid ADK as the brain of the whole operation. It's the orchestrator, and one of the many tools in its toolbox is, you guessed it, RAG. Think about it. The team lead doesn't know everything, but it's smart enough to know exactly when to go ask the expert librarian for some specific factual information. This is what we call Agentic RAG.
And just look at how different this process is from that simple linear RAG pipeline we saw earlier. This is not a one-and-done search. The agent retrieves information, it reads it, and then, this is the critical part, it critiques itself. It asks, is this actually good enough? Does this really answer the core question? And if the answer is no, it refines its search and tries again. It's this dynamic loop of thinking and improving.
Of course, this level of capability comes with a trade-off. And as an executive, this is the part you need to manage. The benefits are obvious. You get way better accuracy for really complex questions, and you can automate tasks that have multiple steps. The costs? Well, it's slower. There's more latency because of all that thinking and looping. And yeah, it costs more in compute because the model is doing a lot more work. You're basically making a direct investment in a much higher level of capability. So the big question is that investment actually worth it? The early numbers are screaming yes. We're seeing companies that deploy this agentic AI reporting an average ROI of 171%. This is happening in finance, where agents are automating incredibly complex compliance checks, and in healthcare, where they're streamlining patient data analysis. This is not just about small efficiency gains anymore. It's about unlocking brand new capabilities that were literally impossible to automate before.
So let's end with this one question for you to take back to your team. Many of you have already built a fantastic AI that can answer questions, a powerful librarian that's grounded in your own data. And that is an amazing, critical first step. But the next frontier, the next strategic leap is building an AI that can reason, that can decide, and that can act. An AI that can actually start to run parts of your business for you. The technology is here. The only question left is, are you ready to make that leap?